Why do a significant portion of Gen Z critique Israel? The relationship between Generation Z, people born roughly between 1997 and 2012, and Israel is shaped by a complex mix of generational values, social media dynamics, political awareness, and the evolving global discourse around human rights and colonialism. It's important to note that not all Gen Zers don't like Israel. Attitudes vary widely. However, several trends help explain why a significant portion of Gen Z is more critical of Israel than previous generations. Gen Z tends to prioritize social justice issues such as racial equality, anti-colonialism, human rights for marginalized communities. Many view the Israeli-Palestinian conflict through this lens, seeing Palestinians as an oppressed group. This framework often leads to criticism of Israeli policies, particularly regarding settlement expansion, blockade of Gaza, military actions in Palestinian territories. Gen Z consumes news primarily through platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X. These platforms often feature unfiltered, emotionally charged videos from conflict zones. During flare-ups in Gaza or the West Bank, graphic footage often circulates quickly, sometimes without context, leading to increased empathy for Palestinians and intensified scrutiny of Israel. Many Gen Zers are skeptical of government narratives, mainstream media, corporate or elite interests. This skepticism sometimes extends to how Western governments, especially the US, support Israel. The perception that powerful institutions are protecting Israel despite its alleged human rights abuses fuels further criticism. In the US, younger progressives, especially on the left of the Democratic Party, are increasingly vocal in supporting Palestinian rights. Figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib, all popular with Gen Z progressives, have criticized Israeli policies. Even among Jewish Gen Zers, there's a noticeable trend of critiquing Zionism, distinguishing between Judaism and support for Israel, supporting groups like Jewish Voice for Peace. Gen Z criticism is often policy-specific, not rooted in anti-Semitism. However, conflating criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism is a common and sensitive issue. Some critics cross the line into anti-Semitism by denying Israel's right to exist or promoting harmful stereotypes. If you'd like, I can show polling data, regional variations, or explain how recent events like the 2023-2024 Gaza conflict have intensified these views. Let's delve deeper into the historical context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Understanding the roots of this conflict can provide more clarity on why it remains a contentious issue today. The conflict dates back to the early 20th century, with both Jews and Arabs claiming the land of Palestine. Key events such as the Balfour Declaration, the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, and subsequent wars have shaped the current landscape. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 was a statement by the British government expressing support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, which was then part of the Ottoman Empire. This declaration was seen by many Jews as a significant step toward the establishment of a Jewish state, but it was met with resistance by the Arab population who viewed it as a threat to their own national aspirations. In 1948, the State of Israel was established, leading to the First Arab-Israeli War. This war resulted in significant territorial changes and the displacement of a large number of Palestinian Arabs. The ensuing years saw numerous conflicts, including the Six-Day War in 1967 and the Yom Kippur War in 1973, each further entrenching the divisions and animosities between the two sides. The ongoing disputes over borders, the status of Jerusalem, and the rights of refugees continue to fuel tensions. Jerusalem holds religious and historical significance for both Jews and Arabs, making it a particularly sensitive and contentious issue. The right of return for Palestinian refugees who fled or were expelled during the 1948 and 1967 wars remains another deeply divisive issue. By examining these historical events, we can better understand the perspectives of both sides and the challenges in achieving a lasting peace. The complexity of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is rooted in a century of history, with deeply held beliefs and grievances on both sides. While the path to peace is fraught with obstacles, understanding the historical context is a crucial step in recognizing the legitimate concerns and aspirations of all involved. As we dive deeper into Gen Z's critiques of Israel, It's essential to understand the perspectives that shape their views. This generation places a significant emphasis on human rights and social justice, values that are often at the forefront of their criticisms. Gen Z has grown up in an era where information is readily accessible, and social media plays a pivotal role in shaping opinions. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok allow for real-time updates and the amplification of voices that might otherwise go unheard. This constant stream of information has made them more aware of global issues, including the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. One major critique from Gen Z is the perceived human rights violations in the occupied territories. Reports of military aggression, restrictions on movement, and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza are frequently highlighted. This generation is particularly sensitive to issues of inequality and injustice, making these reports resonate deeply with them. Another focal point is the social justice aspect. Gen Z is known for its activism, often advocating for marginalized communities. They see the Palestinian struggle through a lens similar to other social justice movements, drawing parallels with issues like racial inequality and indigenous rights. This perspective fuels their advocacy and calls for change. Social media has also allowed for the spread of historical context that might not be as prominently featured in mainstream narratives. Gen Z is exposed to a variety of viewpoints, including those that emphasize the historical grievances of the Palestinian people. This broader understanding informs their critiques and shapes their calls for a more balanced approach to the conflict. By examining these specific critiques, we gain insight into the values and influences that drive Gen Z's stance on Israel. Their emphasis on human rights, social justice, and the power of social media highlights the unique ways in which this generation engages with and challenges long-standing issues. Understanding these perspectives is crucial in addressing the concerns and aspirations of Gen Z, as well as in fostering a more informed and empathetic dialogue about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In conclusion, the critique of Israel by Gen Z is rooted in a complex interplay of historical, political, and social factors. This generation's unique perspective is shaped by their access to information, their values, and their desire for justice and equality. As we move forward, it is crucial to understand and engage with these critiques to foster a more informed and empathetic dialogue. By recognizing the importance of human rights, social justice, and the power of social media, we can better address the concerns and aspirations of Gen Z. Ultimately, the goal is not to polarize, but to bridge gaps in understanding. By listening to and learning from each other, we can work towards a future where empathy and mutual respect guide our actions and our narratives. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Gen Z's critiques of Israel. We hope this has provided valuable insights and encouraged thoughtful reflection. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. Give it a like, share it, and let me know what else you'd like to talk about.